Hey guys, welcome back to Home Built, and today I'm going to finally do something about these brakes. Alright guys, and Benny is back today. It seems like he's living here at the moment, which is good for me. And he's going to give me a hand sorting these brakes out because they've been driving me crazy. So we're going to get the car up now and let's get into it. Okay, I'm not sure if this is the cause of some of my bleeding issues, but it definitely needs fixing anyway. These brake lines, these old brake lines are pretty crap, and I did plan on changing them. I ordered through Benny some cool new brake lines, so these are all going in. These are braided brake lines, so I'll replace all the brake lines all around, and then we'll be able to actually try and bleed it. Alright, one down, 4 to go. So after closer inspection, it wasn't actually fitted properly and it was still leaking. And of course threaded it, so we've had to pull it off and we're going to have to make it up another hard line. Fun! So much fun! It's going to be such a quick and easy thing to do today.
Car things.
Okay, so that was a lot of messing around, but we now have the braided lines all installed. One thing I didn't really notice, but I was having issues with before until we kept having some leaks just while they're sitting there. They were leaking, and what we've worked out is these calipers, I don't know whether it's the standard Toyota ones, these are some aftermarket ones that I bought of the Toyota calipers, and they actually take an Imperial fitting, and the car actually takes a metric one, and they are slightly different. And we were tearing our hair out trying to work out what was going on and why things weren't working properly, and that's what it is. So you actually need, all of the fittings are all in metric except for one Imperial fitting on one side of our hard lines. That Imperial goes into these calipers. So interested to know if any of you guys have had the same problem, but that's what we came across. Either way, now they're all done, so we just need to lift the car up, get under, and change the clutch line. So what Benny's going through now and doing is just bleeding the masters themselves. They've got bleed nipples on them, so we're just bleeding them quickly before we try and bleed the rest of the car.
This is one of my most favourite tools for bleeding brakes. It's a automatic reservoir topper-upper, for want of a better name. So basically you fill it up, it holds just under a litre of fluid. You flip it upside down, clip it into the reservoir, and then once it's seated, turn the tap. And you can also adjust the height of it to maintain the right level in your master cylinder. So very handy tool. The only manufacturer I've seen that makes one snap-on, but I'm sure there's other ones out there. This actually came with my vacuum bleeder, which you'll also see in a second.
So for these rears at least, we played around with the vacuum bleeder for ages and we weren't getting great results, and we went back to the old manual method and we've got a nice good firm pedal out of that. So we're just going to go the old school two-person brake bleed the way was originally intended, and see how that goes.
Yeah, just pump it up. Again. 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 How's it feeling?
Yeah, it's feeling way better. That was way better. We finally have brakes. Just the old school manual bleeding worked a treat, and we actually have a good firm brake pedal. Finally! So Benny's just setting it up now on the clutch pedal, and we're going to do it the same way. Just do manual bleed it, get it done, and move on. All right. Thanks again, Benny.
No worries, man.
Much appreciated. That was
done.
Yeah, I was tearing my hair out for ages trying to get them done, but now they're good. A couple of little tips. Definitely the fact that one side is imperial and one side is metric. That was a good pickup.
Yeah, that could have caught us out if we'd kept trying to force metric into imperial or other way around.
Anyway, thank you very much. I'll let you go, and I'm going to keep at it.
Work.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Sweet.
See you later.
Thanks, mate.
See ya.
Okay, so now Benny's gone. It's time for me to get back into this, and I think I might finish off that exhaust that I was not quite done on last week. Before I get into welding, I just wanted to show you my my welding trolley I just made up yesterday. I modified my old one so that it fits my my new MIG better, and I've got sort of a MIG gas and MIG torch on one side, and then the TIG on the top, and then the TIG torch holder and the TIG cables and TIG gas on the other side. I am very happy with that, so it's going to be much easier to have it around than having loose gas bottles that fall over and smash the regulators and stuff. So anyway, it's time to get the TIG out and practice again on doing this last piece of the exhaust and weld the muffler on. Okay, well that was a lot more messing around than I thought, but I managed to cut out the two tips, get them sitting on a nice angle. Some of you asked about the vertical tips and thought it looked weird, but that's actually how the original sort of performance exhaust on the Zeds came out, and it's quite individual and pretty cool. The only issue I found is that this muffler is actually only a, it's a 1 in, 1 out 2.5 inch muffler. I could not for the life of me find a 1 in, 2 out 2.5 inch muffler. So what I've done is, this is the correct out here, and this out is actually a ring that we welded on, a part of the extension of this that we welded on. It's definitely not the best way to do it, but the only way I can do it, there's nothing worse than having fake exhaust tips on a car, so it's not going to be fake. What I'm going to actually do is I'm going to drill out some holes in the end of this. I thought about drilling out the whole thing with a hole saw, but the thing is that it's full of glass pack fibre, and it'll just end up pumping out the exhaust and it'll be completely useless. Whereas if I drill some perforated holes, it'll be similar to what's inside the actual normal run. The normal run is just a tube with holes all the way around the outside, so the sound can get absorbed into the body of the muffler. So I'm going to drill a few holes in here, so it actually will be a functional muffler. It's probably going to be a bit louder and not going to function as well as it did before, but many of you also mentioned that the whole straight pipe underneath the car is going to boom like crazy, particularly at sort of 3,000 RPM. It's just going to drone. So I will order myself a glass pack a glass pack resonator sort of center section for it, so that I can actually, it's just a straight piece. I'll just be able to cut and weld that in. It'll be quick and easy, and then it will actually not drone like crazy. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and I'm going to polish these up and start welding them on the car. Well, just changing over some brake lines, bleeding some brakes and clutch, and welding up the exhaust has taken me all day. It was a lot more messing around than I thought it would be, and for some reason I really need some TIG welding practice, because my TIG welds on the rest of the exhaust are pretty good. My TIG welds welding on these tips, terrible. So yeah, more practice is required, but in any case, that is all I have time for, so that means it's time for Fun Facts with Mrs. Jeff.
Hey guys, Michael Schumacher is widely renowned to be one of the best drivers ever in Formula One, but this is not without controversy. Most will admit that he is a great driver, but there are some who will contest that some of his greatness comes down to cheating. Coming into the 2006 Monaco Grand Prix, Schumacher trailed Fernando Alonso by 15 points. There was a lot riding on the qualifying and who would get the pole. Nearing the end of the qualifying session, Schumacher had set the top qualifying time, but Alonso in the second sector on a flying lap was running 0.2 of a second faster. Schumacher then stopped his car on a critical corner which compromised Alonso's lap. When asked later, Schumacher responded by saying he locked up the front and it went wide. Back in the paddock, the general consensus was that it was a dirty, deliberate trick, and the stewards agreed. Schumacher's time was disqualified and he was forced to start at the back of the grid. Alonso went on to win the race and the 2006 Formula One Championship outright.
Okay, another day down, and even though I don't feel like I went that much further forward today, at least I now have 3 working pedals, clutch, brake and accelerator. They're all working properly now, which is great. Thanks again to Benny. He's been a great help this week. Seems like he's been living here, which has been fantastic, so thanks again.
If you'd like to see the videos a day early, please check out our Patreon page. It's a new thing we've just started up, so there's you can see them early. You could potentially get a sketch from Jeff. There's
you can get your name in the credits next to Mrs. Jeff's
bloopers, of which there are many.
Not today. You did too well. It's annoying. Anyway, all right, guys. Like, subscribe, all that stuff, and we'll see you on the next one.
Okay.
Well,
don't say that. It's irritating because then I'm going to stop it up. It'll take hours. Schumacher trailed Fernando. Who would get to the pole?
Get pole, not to the pole.
Oh.
No, they're not trying to get to a pole.
I got it for you. Yeah, that's right.